I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the veteran Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos, as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Passing play. Flacco got an open man. It's Fumagalli. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsay. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Green 18. Check, 47. Jim. Hey, check.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Rodgers now. Going to throw again. Now look out, Rodgers. Lost the football.
They can't stop us. They cannot.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Flacco. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And I think the ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 30 yards there. And, of course, the 1st down as well. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. Flacco. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Operating off play action. Flacco. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They go pass again with Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Tim Patrick, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 15 carries, 51 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Preston Smith there on the stop. Flacco from midfield. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On first down, Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lewis. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. 47 Mike.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Bradley Chubb able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. The end result, 21 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now it's Flacco. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Rodgers. Got a man. That's Allison. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5. Up to the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going. But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the 3rd down conversion.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit Pater. 25 yards that time.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Inside.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers, and an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
And he's got the connection to the tight end Graham. Touchdown Packers. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Freeman. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team...
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Packers now to take over, trying to erase the memory of last week when they dropped one to the Minnesota Vikings. They're in the driver's seat right now with the lead. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes. Might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night, they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Rodgers now to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the 1st.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, check 26.
On 2nd down and 4, Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, echo.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down, and this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Flacco. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hamilton. Hamilton, the 4th-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 24-year-old Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. No gain on the dump off at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's Rodgers. They got his man complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and that'll bring up second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. He's got the first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Mercedes Lewis, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are back within a single score.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to handle those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They'd lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
3rd and just 1. It's Flacco. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. It's a give to Freeman running right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Throwing here on 1st down, Flacco. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They'll go again with Lindsey. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down by 12. 2:09 to play. Their perfect start to the season in serious peril as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 53 yards. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 17. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the target there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
26 Mike. 26 Mike. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he's going to go down again. Von Miller. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always been a big debate about what to do. I lived out there at one point. I lived in Colorado Springs. And I remember saying to someone after my second or third day there, like, this altitude thing, this is no big deal. And day 4, it hit. And it hit hard. And it took me a while to get ready and get acclimated. So some teams, they like to come in early, try and get on a schedule and feel good with it. Other teams say, forget it. Let's not let the effects jump on us. They come in as late as possible, as close to kickoff, and play. Whatever way they did it, it worked in this one.
So for Denver, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it'll be their first loss of the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew,